That so Robin will fix you up. We're basically we haven't been at the campground, so I called him up and canceled
Yeah,
the internet for up there
yeah,
because that's $60 a month that'll save us.
yeah, yeah.
So I
Okay,
was like, come get your equipment.
we're live. So he knows to go to Robin or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr.
So
Kia Friday too.
Oh yeah, and I just made an appointment with Dr. Kia Pruitt for 5 o'clock Eastern time, Friday.
5 o'clock Friday night for a video.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little chat, and it's been a while. Dr. Kia's great.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so for those that are watching, 5 o'clock Friday Eastern time, Dr. Kia Pruitt interview with John. Yay!
Yeah.
So, all right, so we'll pass this around in our group. So I'm Sue Greenwald with Awakened Stories here today with the real John F. Kennedy Jr. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Sue.
Awesome,
I
awesome.
really am. Every time you say, "Hey, let's chat," I'm like, "Awesome. Let's get this
Yeah,
story
yeah,
out. Let's go, world."
yeah.
Because we are trying to wake people up and make this world a better
Right,
place.
right. So we don't have an agenda when we talk. We're just chit-chatting about random things that are fun, or pertinent to John's life. So as always, I show this book, Stolen Identity by John Kennedy Jr., available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. Fabulous book, very well written for what it is, and it tells the basic story that we base our conversations on. And we all know that there's a lot more beside what's in the book, but the book is very well done and it's a great accomplishment. So I'm so glad you did it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Mojo on TikTok. Um, I I uh, I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, but it's like I don't even have a hard copy for myself. So it's kind of funny because Mojo said she was giving some of my books away.
Right.
So Robin was sending her something in the mail, and I mailed her a couple books, the soft covers. And the same time I mailed her the soft covers, she sent me a hardcover. So now I got a hardcover, but I didn't have any
Yeah.
because I gave them away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's important to have the story out there and we can get more hardcovers and you can autograph your own copy.
Yeah, I made the other ones I gave away special. I put a Kennedy half dollar on my father on the cover and signed it and
It's
everything. But
amazing. Yeah.
I might do that with this one too. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
nice to have a hard copy of my own book.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, it really is a feather in your cap because it gives credibility to your story, but it also outlines the story so we don't have to verbally go through it each time. So if people have read the book, they've got the core story there. We don't have to keep saying it every single week. That saves us like an hour.
Yeah. I get questions all the time, even on YouTube and things.
Yeah.
People, what about your sister? Are you in contact with your sister? Well, you haven't read the book. Read the book and then ask me questions because I don't have a sister.
Yeah.
My lions are my sisters and my brothers, but yeah, what they do with identity theft and taking people's lives and stuff is it's crazy.
It's just horrible. If someone puts themselves in your shoes after reading the book, just all right. So just one incident that you've talked about is enough to traumatize someone for the remainder of their life. Okay. You've gone through a lifetime of trauma. But, like I said, if it was one of us and just one of those instances happened, we would be traumatized for life. So you've really come through it beautifully.
Yeah, well, I'm still traumatized.
Yeah.
Um,
There's,
like I had a couple wonderful people come meet me, and just all the thoughts that go through my head while I'm just trying to have a conversation with
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
It's hard,
Yeah.
um because I still, I don't know, call it paranoia or just overcautious, but there's been so many attempts on my life, and it puts me out of my zone to meet with people and
Right,
interact. and
right, right. And
and I try to explain that with people, hey, I don't make plans. I try not to make plans because if I make plans, then the enemy can make plans. So, like
right?
if I'm going to go get me a slushy from 7-Eleven, I don't tell nobody. I just go get it. And, you got to pretend like somebody's listening all the time.
Yeah, yeah. I would suspect, especially in your case, they are listening with, certain key individuals. They want to know where you are at all time. But then again, on the other hand, you are also protected at all times. So
Yeah.
it's a hard balance to find, I would think. Yeah. Where you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes back to, post traumatic stress
Yeah.
disorder and
Yeah.
me having the 1,000-yard stare, constantly looking for what's coming next.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
and it wears on you.
Totally.
Um, soldiers in war, when they've been in battle for a few weeks, their eyes get big and they're always,
Yeah.
I've had to do that my whole entire life. Just
It's
so
like,
trying to chill with company, it's
yeah. So it's like, when a cat sleeps, their ears are always moving, they're always listening, and even though they're sleeping, they're conscious of what's creeping up on them, right? So you can never fully rest, you can never fully trust, right? You can never fully enjoy things because you're always worried about who's coming up behind you, what plans they're making, what they're doing, et cetera, et
yeah.
cetera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking with this gentleman the other day and he said, well, you do trust me, right? And I was like, sorry, not to hurt your feelings, but I don't trust anyone.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just how I am. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, when I was put with a family and my own brothers um, and family members tried to have me killed, how can you trust anyone after that?
No.
After your own brother is putting a revolver in your son's hand and coaching him to try to shoot you in your sleep, um, you can't really trust people like after that, no
Yeah.
matter who they are. Once
Yeah.
family betrays you,
Yeah.
I did thought of the Quigleys as my family, but it's hard to
Yeah.
trust. I'm sure like me. I can't say I don't trust Robin because I've been with her so long. I would trust Robin with my life, but it's just
Yeah. Yep. Well, I think everybody could understand that. There's been a lifetime of betrayal. Every second of your life, someone has tried to get something from you or control you or, set you up as a patsy or whatever. So I can understand that. Yeah. Yeah.
it takes time to you know. I
Yeah.
can't just meet somebody that day and no, you try. I don't know you, man.
Yeah, 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 that would be hard. So I wanted to talk about a few things. We had talked about last video. I think that might have been last week that you were collecting donations for a family of 4 kids and 2 parents. And so we had put out the sizes of clothes that the kids needed and, their
Yeah.
young
Well,
kids' toys.
actually, I was just sharing what I was doing to
Yeah,
try to get everybody in the Christmas spirit. I wasn't asking anybody for donations, but man, it started pouring in.
yeah,
I had just mentioned that I myself, me and Robin, agreed not to get each other Christmas
yeah,
gifts,
yeah,
that we would buy Christmas gifts for some kids that needed them.
yeah,
And I was sharing that, um, and the love started pouring in.
yeah,
Um, people started, well, what clothes do they need? And what a wonderful response. I can't stress it enough. I never knew there was so much love in this world.
right.
Robin walked in. I had company yesterday, and Robin walked in with an arm full of pajamas and sneakers and all kinds of stuff for these little kids. And we were both happy as heck. We were smiling. And the company that we had here actually said, you guys are so happy, and these gifts aren't even for you. They're for someone else. And it's like, well,
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
yeah,
The love and helping, people
yeah.
that, and seeing that they're going to have a good Christmas.
Yeah. Well, it's not even just Christmas. It's just the basics have been handled for them. Like the kids need everything. So a lot of us have donated, clothes, shoes, some toys, which are always welcome. And we were talking offline before the video. And yeah, this is not like just to sell people, but if you have extra cash, the family also needs their rent paid. So just like pretty much everyone in America, they're strapped for cash. Evidently, the husband got laid off. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, what the company did was they had him actually move here and kept him working for a couple months. But then after that, the work was there was no work.
Ah,
So he's here with his family with
yeah,
no income now and four little ones,
yeah,
and Christmas is coming.
yeah,
So it's kind of I've been in that situation myself, and it's a bummer.
yeah,
So yeah, if people want to help them, help those little kids out, because it trickles down from the parents to the
right,
kids, like
right.
we all know that. But
So,
yeah, it would be awesome. It really would.
so in the description of this video, I always put your Cash App name in there. So if somebody wants to donate to this family or to John, that's very welcome. It's never mandatory. It's always optional. And yeah, I know you weren't fundraising for the family, but I thought, why not share it as long as we're talking about it? And you got some good response. So
Yeah, and
thank
while
you.
we're putting it out public, if
Yeah.
the man actually does solar work and electrical work and stuff
Yep.
like that. He's a
Yep.
really wonderful handyman. In Bullhead City, Arizona, the
Yep.
Kingman, Arizona neighborhood. So if you know of any jobs, shoot me an email and say, hey, I know somebody that's hiring because there's
Yeah.
not a lot of work here. They're really
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. It's probably a smaller and more remote area is my guess, not having been there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I see you have a special hoodie on today.
This was actually sent to me. I started the calling all the followers, and I don't even like using the word followers because they're not. I don't want anybody to follow me. I want people to walk by my side. So I started using the term lions,
Right.
and this one gal sent me this. I don't know about 6 months ago,
Yeah.
and it reminds me of King Smarty, but
Yeah.
the lion symbol is so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like his logo to me. Yeah. That's why I said that. But yeah. So he has sent,
She could have got it off his
yeah.
site. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
it came from a gal and said, "Here you go, John." So
That's
it's an
awesome.
awesome shirt.
Awesome. Yeah.
And with that said, King Smarty, thumbs up to the King.
Yeah.
King
Thumbs
Smarty
up.
TV.
Yeah. So
Check
King
it out.
Smarty
We're
got
gonna we're gonna go world on King Smarty TV.
yeah. Yeah. So basically, that will be live and uncensored information out there. So TV channels, your channel number two, I think you said. And basically, whenever a new video is done, whether by me or anyone, it's going to be put out there immediately. But there'll be an archive of older information out there as well, and whatever else you want to share. So it's going to be amazing. That is going to get the word out to so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many lions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I explained, the lions are the people on TikTok and Facebook. Brenda Price, a true lion.
Right.
She's on number 16 account. People hold this book up and they get taken off the internet
Yeah.
because big business, the man, don't want my truth out. They want to keep it buried, keep it covered of what they really do. So Brenda Price, 16 accounts for holding my book up, sharing. She said, I'll never give up, John. I'll just keep getting new cell phones and making new accounts. Um, Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I forgot where I was going, but
Yeah, it's all good. So we were talking a little bit about your house that you've been remodeling where you are physically now. And it looks beautiful from the background that I can see, but you were saying that you don't have some of the basics yourself. And like a kitchen sink is one of them.
well,
And
I actually have the sink. I got the sink from the flea market, but and I got the kitchen cabinets to put in the kitchen, but then I decided not to put those ones in. I used them in the shed for storage because I'm waiting for something. a little nicer.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's
So
coming together. It really is.
awesome.
Robin keeps saying, "Hey, I want a kitchen sink. I'm tired of washing dishes in the bathtub." But
Yeah. Awesome that you have the knowledge to create your own house, that you know how to do all of that. I mean, like most people don't. So you're very self-sufficient there. Not awesome that you, a president's son, doesn't have a freaking kitchen sink. So not awesome.
I know a little bit about everything, enough to get me in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had some friends here, and they were helping me do some electricity to the stove in the kitchen, and
Yeah.
I just kept working and putting all the wires together, and said, "I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm getting it
Yeah.
done."
Yeah.
But it
Well,
worked. It worked. I got the
awesome.
red and the black right wire where they're supposed to go, and I
That's
didn't
great.
shock myself, so that's good.
That's great. You know how you told us last week about the bricks, that the city did not want your bricks laying around the yard. Of course, they're looking for a reason to give you a hard time and probably fine you. I saw a meme where a guy had a boat in his driveway, and the place where he lived gave him a hard time for parking the boat there. So he put a stockade fence across the driveway, parked the boat behind it, and he
Robin, door. Sorry.
and then painted the boat on the outside of the fence so it looks like a boat. And I'm like, wow, genius, genius, you know? Yeah. So she's good.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Cable man showed up.
Yeah. So so you've been getting lots more support, lots more public eyes on you. The other day King Sparty was on a video with the Hustle Man, and I saw
Yeah,
you were in
yeah,
the
that was
audience.
awesome. I wasn't expecting it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
King sent me a message and said, "Hey, I'm going live in 20 minutes." I didn't know where he was going live, but I
Yeah.
checked it out, and there was so much love on there,
Yeah.
sharing the story.
Yeah.
Um, it
Yeah.
was great. I had to subscribe to the Hustle Man. I had to. It
Well,
was 99 cents a month or something, and hey, I got 99 cents somewhere to somebody that's sharing this right
yeah,
here.
yeah. Well, I walked in the door and I didn't know he was doing it, and I checked my phone and I'm like, darn. So I was late for the video, but when I went on, about within 5 minutes, I heard my name and your name, and I'm like, wow, that's so generous. So he's asking us all to subscribe to my channel, to your channel. How generous is that, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard a shout out for you too.
Yeah, it was
Awaken
really smart.
Stories. Check it out. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. So basically, the bottom line is we need to support each other. Okay, so like we had said months ago, that your story is a grassroots story. You can't wait for a government official or anyone with influence or power. They will never step up to the plate at this moment because they're all afraid. Even if they believed you, they're afraid to step up to the plate, right?
Yeah,
So
it's almost like a religion to me, when somebody helps you, you go out of your way to help them back. You just
yeah,
do it.
yeah,
Um, you know, I've had people say, "Hey, you've helped me. What can I do for you?"
yeah,
And sometimes they don't want to be associated with you. They're helping you, but
yeah,
so it's like, no, we don't want your help, John. And it's like, well, that's cool, but thank you for the help. But
yeah.
it's, in my heart, when somebody helps you, you bend over backwards and help them
Yeah.
any way you can.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a basic way that humans are supposed to be. Like, and it's not like, oh, you've helped me, so I'll help you. No, we're not keeping a tally. It's just like you need help, and it's something I can do or I know how to do or I can help you in some way. I'm gonna do it, right?
Yep,
So,
that's the way it should be.
yeah. And that's the way
Not I'm
all
doing
should.
something for you, now you owe me,
Yeah.
but I'm doing something for you because I like you and I believe in you, and
Yeah. Yeah. Or it's the right thing to do.
right.
Yeah. So I always say if it's within my power and I might not have the money, but I'll do what I can do to help or whatever. I'll physically help you. You know what I mean? It
That's
doesn't
always
matter.
been my story
Yeah. Yeah.
my whole life. I don't have the money, but what can I do to help?
Yeah. So I wanted to show your website again for those that haven't seen it, if that's okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we had one of our friends, Kimberly, create this website, and her email is source of love, and her at Gmail, and her website is source of love official. And of course, I've got the wrong thing on the screen, don't I?
Hey, it looks cool though.
Never mind. That is like pretty funny, actually. Okay. Here we are. Wait a minute. Bear with me a second, guys, because clearly, you know, I've been pressing the wrong button. There we go. Let's see. Wow. You know what it is? It's given me the video for some reason. That's so weird. Anyways, let me go to the website. Boy, I've got a competence problem today. There we go. Oh my golly, the crowd goes wild. Okay. Here is John's new website. So this was created by Kimberly at sourceofloveofficial.com. Okay. Check out her website. It's very cool. But I wanted to show this website off because I love it. And it also has a lot of great content here that people can get other information. If they haven't read the book, it shows you pictures and gives you little blurbs, a little bit of a timeline. So it does show information for someone that doesn't know anything about your story yet. Okay. And
Yeah, it's very informative.
yeah,
And you can go there and get the book. If you want to help me get this book number one, Christmas is coming. Buy this
yeah,
book for a loved one
yeah,
so they can wake up to the truth.
yeah.
And if
Here's
you
the
want
book.
to help support the cause and keep us going and sharing the truth
Yes.
and getting us out there,
Yeah.
the link to the get a pendant um, with, with with the love from the king sent me these so we can move forward. And they're wonderful pendants of the book. And they got the
Yeah.
frequency logo, source directive on the back. Yeah, there you go. That they're
Yeah.
so freaking awesome.
I
They're
know.
not
Yeah.
cheap jewelry. They're very well made, very
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
Um, this is the large silver one that I'm holding up. It's my favorite that I wear all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but they come in rainbow and black and rose gold and silver.
Yeah.
Um, they're really, really cool.
Yeah. So there's a large size and a small, and it's got John's the cover of his book on one side, but beautifully done. And the chains are actually very nice. They fit right over your head easy. They're going to be a collector's item, as well as they contain healing and protective frequencies. So every pendant is charged with healing. Like, and when I say protective, I mean against EMFs, radiation, stuff like that. And then healing is like pretty much every cell in your body is soaking in the healing frequencies as you walk around passively with the pendant on. And you know, you're a great example, John. In the few months that we've been talking, you've been wearing the pendant yourself, and your health looks substantially better.
And I
Substan-
feel good too.
yeah,
And
yeah.
actually, the king sent me one as a gift, and he said, you know, basically grab hold of this thing. It'll help your post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
And then he sent me, all these to help the cause. And you are really helping the cause when you
Yeah,
purchase one of these.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it makes me feel so much better, and I felt healthier.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
And
these doctors, sometimes, I was just talking about that the last few days. Sometimes it's almost like they want to put you in your grave.
oh yeah,
And, with the chambers that King's talking about and the frequencies, um, I feel a hell of a lot better since I met the King, and
yeah,
he's been sharing his products with me.
yeah. So I wear his jewelry as well. It's all got the healing and protective frequencies. I've worn his things for maybe 7, 8 years. I never take it off. Okay. Maybe some of it when I'm swimming, but it doesn't tarnish, it doesn't rust. but you can feel the vibration in this jewelry. So for those that are energy sensitive, when you hold it in your hand, you're going to feel it. Now, if you're not energy sensitive, it's okay. Just wear it or keep it close to where you are, and you will your every cell will suck in these healing and protective frequencies. So what we always tell people is to put the jewelry near your water or your food before you consume it for like a minute or two, and your food is infused with those healing and protective frequencies as well. So the more
Yeah, when I first met the king, I had no idea. I've heard of frequencies, but I didn't research them at all. Robin's been doing a lot of research, but the king has these little stickers,
yeah,
and we just got a water bottle, one of those 5-gallon water bottles for the house here,
yeah,
because the water in Bullhead is really crappy. You got to go buy filtered water. And Robin's got all them stickers all around that water bottle,
yeah,
just charging it all up.
yeah. It makes a difference. All right. So I have all this stuff in my house and all that. So it's easy. I've set it all up so it's easy. I don't have to think twice about it. That's why wearing a pendant is so nice. So the cost of these is 111 plus $10 shipping. They make great gifts, by the way. Hint, hint. But what happens is when you buy a book, John basically turns around and whatever royalty he makes from the book, which is not a lot, is turned around to buy more books to hand out to those people that haven't heard the story. The pendants, I would assume, go towards supporting your, um, your living expenses and maybe renovation of your home. But it's not like John is sitting on his yacht right now. He needs the support of the people. So this is a really win-win-win way you can support John.
Yeah, it really does help.
Yeah, yeah,
If I sell a pendant, I'm going to the hardware store, Home Depot,
yeah,
Lowe's, or somewhere, and buying things that we basically have to
yeah, yeah,
fix things up.
yeah,
But it helps the cause so greatly. Also,
yeah,
it really really does.
yeah. And really our intention is to get the story out to the mainstream public. Obviously, you need to live in the meantime. You need food, you need a place to live. So this is an easy way. It's a passive way for people to experience and enjoy health and protection, as well as supporting you. And of course, they remember that they've supported you because they've got, your picture right on the pendant, which is super cool. So
And I have been what I've been doing in the past is I've been getting books when the royalties come in off of
yeah,
Amazon. I've been
yeah,
ordering some books, and I made a video the other day, and I said I had a dozen books to give away or
yeah.
something. I've given them away. So
Yeah, yeah.
I,
And when
I even mentioned it last week or the week after that if you purchased a pendant, I'll send you an autographed book with the pendant. But I'm looking here and I only have 3 books, so that's not a promise, people. If you order a pendant, you might get an autographed book, but I might run out, and
yeah.
it won't be till the first till I can get some more.
So when John buys books, he has to pay for the book just like we do. So you're not making a lot of money. Like it's not, you can't really make a huge living off of selling self-published books hardly anymore.
No, and I'll be straight up. I think I make $4 a book.
Yeah. So that's not a lot. I mean, like obviously if you sell a lot of them, that can add up.
Yeah, so let's sell 1 million books, people. Go to Amazon.
Yeah.
And if you purchased the book, please leave a review. I got wonderful, great people on there that have left their heartfelt comments on how great the book is, and then you get the negative comments from the haters,
Yeah.
because we have so many enemies
Yeah.
that don't want this truth out, that are supporters of other people beyond the truth. We're all about the truth from the heart and soul to get the truth out, and they're profiting on not the truth.
Right.
And
Well,
please leave a comment, leave your heartfelt comment on Amazon, or review. It helps. I've said, this book came out, I believe it was November of last year, of 23. And it's a dream to have that book. If it became number one, John Kennedy would come out, and it keeps getting higher. It'll go down. I'll do a video. I'll sell a few books, and but it's a long way from being number one, and it should be.
Yeah.
It really should be.
I mean, and so I think putting the comments out there and sharing it around will help knock the book up in the ladder. And maybe I guess it's a spike in sales. I don't actually know how that works. But again, our goal is to get the story out there. Okay, so anything anyone can do to put the story out there is welcome. So we had one person that took a picture of the cover of the book, which has all the content you need, the name of the book, and of course, John Kennedy Jr. in your picture. They took pictures of that and they made little, like 4x6 size postcards, let's call it. And then you could do that and put them up around on the bulletin boards in the area where you live, libraries, bookstores, grocery stores, whatever it might be.
Yeah,
Um,
that's so awesome,
yeah, and that
and
gets,
appreciated.
yeah,
We're being hindered, so
yeah,
I always say go old school.
yeah,
My
yeah,
brother Henry, um, wonderful man. I met Henry, and he's been so helpful. But he was getting taken down from social media also just for sharing the story.
yeah,
So what he did, and he made a flyer of this, and he put it at the post office. Taped it at the post office where everybody could see. Then he taped it at the gas pumps. When he'd get gas, he would tape it on the gas pumps.
yeah,
And I seen him do that, and I was like, "What a wonderful idea!" I
yeah.
was like, "How come I haven't been motivated to do that?" So when I go to the post office now, I start leaving a little flyer on the counter that says, "Hey, check out,
Yeah.
stolen identity."
Yeah, and you could do that super inexpensively. You could, print a sheet with like 4 or 6 of those on a sheet, inexpensively, cut it, and then just have it in your car, like you said, with a little package of tape when you see
Yeah,
an
even
opportunity.
this young kid I met recently, his father got him a pendant,
Yeah,
but I was like, "Do you have a pendant?" He's like, "Yeah, I got it hanging from my car mirror."
yeah,
And when people ask what that is, I share the story. There
yeah,
was one couple, husband and wife, they were making flyers and putting them at the grocery store.
yeah,
Let's, you know, spend a few minutes, people, if you really want to help us make this world a better place. Help share the story that they don't want out of
yeah,
all the evil that they do.
right. Right. We talked, I think it was last video about Trump. So basically, according to all these intel providers, Trump was going to have JFK Jr. as his VP. Okay, so he has a YouTube channel, and there's people claiming to be you, of course, and like everyone was like wild for that idea, right?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, they come up with these wild ideas that never happen.
Yeah,
They knew it wasn't going to happen, especially when I'm coming out saying, "Hey, I'm the real John Kennedy Jr."
yeah,
And that SOB stole my identity and stole billions of dollars from me and laundered it to the mafia, the cabal. I think they kind of changed their plans when I'm coming out with a story like that.
yeah. So basically, they were gonna, but I guess my point was, I think they were gonna steal your identity again. That's my guess.
Oh, they are right now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Like when my TikTok account went down, there was 6 that popped up. They
yeah,
left the fake accounts and took the real one down.
yeah,
Facebook, there's people popping up pretending to be, I'm sharing the story of identity theft and how huge organized crime was.
yeah.
And these people are still trying to steal my identity when I'm saying, "Hey, I'm sharing identity theft," and they're right
Yeah,
in my face.
yeah, yeah. So they were gonna maybe bring out a guy that they would claim to be you. And again, money, power, influence, control, all of that stuff. So this is a huge problem. And that's why
I love spoiling their plans, though. I really do.
yeah, yeah,
You get these people doing evil and deception, trying to deceive
yeah,
the world, basically the whole world, not just America, but the whole world, with their deception. "Hey, John's coming back. Mr. Pretty Boy's coming back. He's going to be vice president." Sorry, that ain't never going to happen,
yeah,
people. Um, I'm not going to say they're stupid for believing it, but it's put in their face. So if
Yeah.
you want the truth, come check out mine and see his videos. Read the book, and
Yeah.
you will it'll blow your mind.
Yeah.
It really will.
Well, people don't know. You can't fault the average person doesn't know. They've been taught, they've been manipulated, they've been brainwashed. It's in the news, it's in the media all their life. So they don't know. And so that,
Yeah.
what happens when you hear a story that is shocking and you can't believe it? First of all, you reject it. Okay, no, that can't be true. But if you start to see more evidence out there in the outside world, people maybe talking about the story, you start to collect more information, and then your eyes and ears are a little bit more open. You might be a little bit more open to listening to the story and making a better or a different decision, right?
It needs to be like a leak in a dam, because right now the dam's leaking,
Yeah,
and people are starting to wake up.
yeah,
But we need that dam to burst, and we need to burst their bubble.
yeah,
And a lot of people need to wake up and say, "Hey, we've been lied to our whole life, just about everything.
yeah,
If it has to do with money and government, we've been lied to about it." There's so many problems that we could actually solve. So many that they don't want to, because they're trying to put money in their pocket. It's a business to them. Steal our money and put it in their pocket. And I get people ask me all the time, well, why this and why that? People, it's about money. It's about they have all the money. They want to keep it, and they want to keep us, you know, the
control,
homeless. They want to keep us on drugs. They want to keep us, they want to take our money, people, and keep us broke.
right,
That's what it's all about.
right. Yeah, so we're good enough to do the work and to pay the fees, the fines, the penalties, the money or whatever. But we're not good enough for the information because we're not smart enough to understand it. Well, really what we are is we are smart, and once we understand it, our minds are going to be blown. Then we're going to be angry. All right, because
And the system, like we were talking earlier, Sue, the system's put in place to bring the
yeah,
average man down.
yeah,
You get pulled over because you can't afford insurance. You're lucky you even have a car and can afford gas.
yeah,
So you get pulled over for no insurance. Boom. The fee just for that, $500.
yeah,
Then you're in trouble. You can't drive your car till you go to the DMV and pay them another $250.
yeah,
And you're struggling for gas money. It is. Where are you going to come up with the $1,000 that they just threw at you because you're poor in the first place?
yeah,
And it just spirals and spirals.
yeah,
And it's not most people's problem why they don't have money. It's the government's problem for keeping them in poverty.
right.
And people need to wake up to that.
Yeah. Well, before we went live, we were talking about how someone, like basically their car wasn't registered or whatever, and they got fined, they got ticketed. It was a huge dollar figure, but then they lost their insurance. I don't remember the exact story, but really, the system is designed to keep the people like struggling and in poverty. When you look at how you even get a like, let's get say you get a ticket. Now, let's say the ticket's $50. I'm just picking a number. They're going to add $200 or $300 worth of fees on top of that $50. Okay.
You know what would be cool? You know what would be really cool? You get pulled over, and the officer says, "Do you have insurance?" And you say no. And instead of him writing you a ticket that's going to cost you $500, why
Right.
don't they give you a card that says, "This voucher is good for you to get insurance"?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? That would be awesome. But it's going to take some time to turn that kind of crap around.
They want the fee and the fine money. They want that extra money because, that goes in their pockets, right? But everything is like that. You've got to register something, you've got to get a certificate, an inspection of this, of that for our safety. Okay. And the fees and the fines and the interest and everything has gone up, 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 up. Everyone has their hand out. The common person is strapped, right? They're struggling for just the basics in life, right? They're not even really enjoying life much. They're just trying to buy food and shelter, right? But we've got all these fees, fines, and whatever guaranteed to keep us in our place because we can never get ahead. We
Yeah,
can never
so
make
it's
enough money to pay all that stuff and get ahead.
I get depressed when we talk about it, Sue. I really do.
I'm
Just thinking
sorry.
about inflation and how it's just going up each and every
Yeah,
day. And
yeah. So Social Security is supposed to, like, we're supposed to get this big bump in Social Security. It's 2% or 2.5%.
oh, if the listeners don't know, I finally got my disability. Finally, after 13 years, and it's $900. I was on food stamps for years, with my heart failure and everything. But they sent me a letter yesterday that said my $940 is now going up to $960. And I was like, woohoo, that 20 bucks, man, I can go buy me a pound of hamburger now.
You can't even buy a meal for that. I hate to say it, but how funny is that? They act like they're doing you this major ass favor by giving you 20 extra dollars, right?
After all the money that we put into the
Yeah.
the system.
Social Security is our money that we put into the system. It's our money. It's not them deciding that they're going to magically hand us over
But
money.
they like that big bank account so they can take it here and take it there and do what they want with it.
Yeah, it's a way of controlling. That's all. So interesting. So we've kind of gone off on a little bit of a rant today, but we have to get the story out as the basic bottom line. And the story is crucial, not only for those in the US, but for those globally. This is not the only person they've done this to. Now, of course, your story is unique, but they've done this to lots of celebrities and political influencers, children, illegitimate children. It's horrible what they're doing. Those stories have to come out.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with my story, to the listeners, I took a guy to the site where my mother was shot last night. I'm trying to get justice. I'm trying to expose of what really goes on. And my mother was shot in front of me. I was taken away at gunpoint, kidnapped, and they don't want you to know that story that the former First Lady, Jackie Kennedy, not only my father, everybody knows my father, what happened to him, but my mother also, my sister also. They don't want you to know what's been going on in our government. So, I had somebody saying, hey, we need to start a justice for Jackie. Um, our former First Lady was gunned down, also kept secret from the mainstream.
Horrible.
Wouldn't that be wonderful to get justice from my mother, um, and bring it out into the light? It would make my day. But somebody was trying to start a thing, justice for Jackie. I think it should be justice for Caroline also. People ask me all the time, well, what about your sister? Please read the book. My sister was taken from me and replaced with identity theft. So they could make millions, if not billions of dollars. And that's the cabal, people.
Yeah.
Um, and I forgot where I was going again, but I do that a lot lately at my old age.
Well, there's a lot of complexity to your story. And, to do it chronologically is difficult. But I saw about 2 weeks ago, you did a little short video that you had a candle out, I'm presuming where your mom was murdered. And I believe you had a book there, and I think you had a dozen roses or whatever. And it was beautiful.
Yeah, actually, a gentleman that I met, he was 80, he's 83 years old, and he was like, I want to go pay. He bought some flowers and a candle, and he said, I want to go pay the respects for where your mother. He had actually met my father when he was a kid. And he wanted to do that for my mom, which was awesome. So I took him out there, and we're still being hindered. Um, Aristotle was also murdered. If people don't know Aristotle Onassis, he was a Greek billionaire. They murdered him also, along with my mother. He was my stepfather. What they do, I was explaining last night to some people where my mother was killed. I made a video. It was getting thousands of views. They
Right.
took the video down, but not only did they took the video down where I said, "Hey, this is my campground when I was a kid," they bulldozed all of it down and they built a big fence where you can't see in there anymore. I made a video, I think it's been 2 years ago now, coming up on 2 years, but I said, hey, this is where my stepfather was murdered. This is where they axed him up. And I showed the corner, and a week later, they bulldozed it down. There was a nice arbor where there was benches, really nice area. I'm making a video, and I said, "This is the murder place of my stepfather." More than likely, I was at a young age, and then we were in the middle of the desert. But um, right after that video, they bulldozed it down also, and they put some rock slabs and changed the whole thing. Put some American flags up, but it's just the point. It seems like being hindered where I make a video, they take the video down and then bring in the bulldozers to cover up the evidence.
Yeah, yeah. Shocking and so sad. So sad. Like the amount of trauma you've endured from, witnessing that.
It's made
It's
me stronger, though. It's made me want to keep going and not give up
yeah,
and keep sharing.
yeah,
People say you need to stop. You're not the real John Kennedy Jr. No, I need to keep going, and you need to try to prove me wrong. You can't,
yeah,
and it keeps me going. Just hearing those comments, it
yeah,
makes me want to hold up my book and say, "Help me get this book out. Number one,
yeah,
buy it as a Christmas gift.
yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it."
Yeah. Well, usually I get a lot of comments after we do a video. The two I get are ridiculous. You don't have a Boston accent. So you can't be you because you don't have a Boston accent. I'm like, clearly you haven't read the book. Okay, so, you
If
know.
you get a Boston accent, you gotta live in. I don't know how I do a Boston accent, but you gotta actually live in Boston and pick it up from others. I was kidnapped and replaced, and there's more places I lived in than Boston. When I was a
Yeah,
young kid, I didn't even have a Boston accent.
yeah. Yeah, isn't that
But
funny?
accent, when I was younger, I went to Canada for about a year. I picked up the A,
Yep,
Kennedy
yep.
but I actually had a little Canadian accent. I've been in southern United States, and I can talk with drawl, but
Yeah,
me having a Boston accent does not make any sense because
yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't there, and accents, you know, are picked up on. Not
So one of the things I always tell people is to look at your childhood pictures, okay, and then look at you now. So like just look at you now. You look similar, okay? So you look like you grown up. Okay. But then we've Robin and others have done some age progression video. It's spot on. So
Yeah, if you pick me out as a child, one of those photos of, and with that said, all the photos are of me up to age 9 or 10. They're all of me. That's when they replaced me. And you do the AI age apps or any apps, and you'll see this mug. It scared the heck out of me. One of my childhood photos, Robin did the AI app on,
yeah,
and I was looking at myself. I really was. This ugly mug.
yeah. It's so crazy how they can do that. Now, I want to show this picture on your website again, so bear with me, everybody. I want to go back to the website and I'm going to go to the home page and I wanted to show, oops, wrong one. I wanted to show down at the bottom. Okay, so there are pictures here and you can see your features, of course. And some of these are better than others. All right. But what I wanted to show was this photo here. It's the cover of a video that I would encourage everyone to watch if they haven't. But that on the my left is you. What would you say, 35, 40 maybe? And then on the
Yeah,
right is your dad.
I lost my father way too young, but we
Yeah.
were about the same age in that when they took him in
Yeah.
'63.
So almost an identical like look. If you had the same color lighting and all that, it would be almost identical. So insane, isn't it? Yeah.
I love that picture. I'm not sure who actually came up with that at first,
Yeah.
but it's a wonderful
Yeah.
picture.
So this video here
I
has been
actually had some teeth back then.
okay. So that's funny. Um, we're gonna go.
Somebody the other day said, "Hey, you got teeth in your book." And I said, yeah, that's how they can do things now. They can just put some teeth in there that weren't there before. It's sad because I love to smile. I really love to smile, but someday maybe I'll get my smile back.
It's really sad again that you had to do your own dental work. And yeah, not cool. But so let's take this picture in the middle right here of your mom holding you, a color picture, but you can see the features. And you can, like, if you compare side by side, it looks like you. It looks like you. So,
Yeah, it looks nothing like the man that stole my identity that
yeah,
organized crime put in place.
yeah,
The whole world knew John John, and that is me, and that is not John John.
yeah,
And some people caught it. I've been hearing comments um, that, hey, we knew there was something funny going on.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's crazy that, again, like my excuse would be the internet wasn't invented yet. So we didn't have the ability to get the videos and the photos as quickly and easily as we do now. But yeah, so you can see the resemblance. So sorry, if people can't see the resemblance, that's on them. Yeah. Oh, and this is your Hollywood acting down here. I don't know. It loads very slow. So I have watched a couple of the shows that you were in. It's a little bit slow, but very cool to see you on TV.
Yeah, they even stole my identity as Richard Steele, the Hollywood actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at that photo of me and my mom when I was young right there,
This one.
um, in 1975, they took my mother away and replaced her with identity theft. And people, if they do a little research at the old Jackie and then the new Jackie, you can tell it's not the same woman. What they, a little demo work, a little plastic surgery, some big fat glasses, and that made them millions and millions and millions of dollars to organized crime.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm doing whatever I can to get this truth out. I'm really asking, I'm sharing what these evil ones do at the highest level,
Yeah.
all the way up to the presidents of the United States.
Yeah.
So if you want to know the truth, hear what I'm saying and share.
Yeah. Yeah, so any help you can give is appreciated in any way, just by telling people, sharing the book. So, like I had told everybody before, I went to the library and I asked for the book, for them to buy the book. And it did take them like a couple weeks to approve it. And then I got to borrow the book from the library and then I wrote a review for it at the library. And then when I
Oh,
took it back, I took it to the librarian and I chatted it up to her, right? So that they could promote it to people. Sometimes they put them on the counters or the shelves or whatever, but there's a lots of local small business or, like small bookstores or used bookstores. You can go and talk to them about stocking the book, or you can donate a book if you have the money to do that. Just little things will help.
yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
I actually donated a book to the Bullhead City Library myself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I hope
I
they
hope they
promote
put
it.
it on the shelf. I really do. I hope they just
Yeah.
didn't throw it in the trash. But
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to say today to the audience? Like sometimes we have more stories, sometimes we're just talking about random things, which I think today was, but
I just want to thank all of the Lions for not giving up, for keep sharing.
yeah,
Um, there's so many people. The story is getting out. I want to thank you. I want to thank King Smarty, Dr. Kia Pruitt this Friday at 5 Eastern. Um, I just want to thank everybody with all my heart. It means so much when I hear people sharing the truth, to get it out and
yeah,
helping me get it out to
yeah,
get justice for
yeah.
everybody.
It's a small thing that we can do collectively and it will have big impact. Like the more that we do, the longer we hang in there, the more impact it will have.
And Sue actually sends me this video after we get done, and I post it to YouTube, so it'll be on YouTube. Please share it,
Yeah.
and then it will probably be posted on King Smarty TV.
Yeah.
Um, he just came out with it, people, and we need to all
Yeah,
share it like crazy. Let's make King Smarty TV #1
yeah,
channel
yeah.
around the world for the truth.
KingSmarty.tv, and John is channel number 2. It's being we'll call it populated with content now. So I don't know like time frames or how it's going to look. I'm not really involved in that part of it other than sending videos over. So that's another way we'll get this word out in an uncensored fashion. Awesome. Awesome. So to those watching, I thank you for your help donating to John, to the family he's supporting, buying the book or the pendants, telling your friends and neighbors, telling the bookstores, whatever you can do is appreciated. Thank you so much.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
that's my, it used to be peace. I used to say peace at the ends, but here lately I've been saying all love because it's all about loving each other. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah. And we are all here to help each other in some way. And you need help getting this out. When your story gets out, that's going to trickle down and help so many more. We can't even understand it right now.
It's going to
So,
be huge.
yeah, huge.
It
Huge.
doesn't scare me, but it's gonna change a lot of things and a lot of thinking
Yeah.
to the better.
Yeah. It's
And
going to be good. Yeah. And see that I guess was your job is to collect information and the stories and to expose what's been happening so it doesn't happen to other people.
when
Yeah.
it comes to whistleblowing, I want to be #1 on the top.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for your service and all I know again, all the trauma and pain you went through and betrayal. I know it had to be hard, but you are strong and smart and courageous, and you're an inspiration for the rest of us.
Well, thank you so very
Okay.
much.
Thank you so much for your time.